Multitasking, vlogging, podcasting. I got the old iPhone running Anchor tethered to my hotspot on my iPhone here, so I could do a podcast while vlogging. So this will be interesting. Just spent 20 minutes listening to Sid's podcast for today, which was really good. It gave me some insight on how his day-to-day and what his life has been like in Tucson since he left LA. So, I always wondered what it was like living out there, and I kind of have an idea. It's not ideal as he would describe it, because he does plan to move back to LA, which is awesome, and I hope that becomes a reality sooner than later. But again, Brocation is coming. Really excited for that. That'll be in June 1st. Epicness awaits. But today's topic, I kind of don't want to go too much into it, but there's hella traffic. I'm already in Van Nuys right now on the 405 heading home. I wanted to talk about career choices, and just because as of late, I'm just off the bat, for the record, I am very thankful and blessed to be in the position that I am and the career that I am, and it allows me to be a good husband, a provider. It keeps me motivated to to not be lazy. I want to be a good employee. I want to do I want to have an impact at the company that I'm working at. Before, 10 years ago, you asked me this question, I was just there about getting a paycheck, and that's still very important, because it does allow you to live the way you live, put food on the table, buy the clothes that you wear, buy the toys that you like, stuff like that. But a lot has changed. I make the most I've ever made at this job. I'm at probably the peak of my career success, and I've been presented with a lot of opportunities that I've taken advantage of, that put me in a really good position. I was able to buy our first house, in 2013. We refinanced, and then we got a bigger house. We had Jalen, and now we have Zoe, and I feel very thankful. But with that said, there still comes a time when your work relationship is just it's hard, and I'm not complaining, but it's just like an inner struggle. I wouldn't say promoted, but I've been given the opportunity to prove myself for a higher position in the company. And with that comes a challenge. It definitely takes me out of my comfort zone, because I'm not used, me being the person I am, I'm a Cancer. I'm very introverted. I'm very quiet. I'm very to myself. I'm kind of in my own space. I don't like confrontation, stuff like that. Yet, I have my work is customer facing. I deal with these corporate accounts. I deal with people in very important positions in their respective companies, and I do have to put on that face, that corporate voice, to be professional. And I've somewhat been successful so far. Obviously, my company recognizes something in me, and they want to capitalize on that, and I'm thankful that they see something in me and found it, because now it gives me something to work at, own, fine-tune a craft, per se. So in my latest performance review, I've been kind of in the middle of two positions. there's the top of the ladder, and then and the position where I'm at. I'm like right in the middle. I'm not yet there, so like this year is kind of like my test, my trial, and a lot of it has to do with managing people. And managing people is something that I've never, well, I won't say never done. I've done it when, I had my IT staffing firm back in the day with Johnny, when I was managing field techs, but that's different. This one is dealing with, fellow colleagues, people I see on a daily basis, and it's just not in me. Sometimes you got to be the bad guy. You have to find strengths in people and bring it out of them. Push people to do better, to do their best, and I sometimes feel like I'm not capable of delivering those expectations, and it's discouraging. It really is, and it has taken some toll on me, because I feel like they see something in me, and I want to deliver, but I feel I can't, and then it's like I'm just setting up for failure or for disappointment. And then that was kind of the biggest stressful thing that I was going through last year when my review was coming up. I had no idea what was going to happen. I didn't know which path I was going to take, but I fully committed, and now I'm here. And it's stressful. It's very stressful. I lean on my wife heavily for guidance, because she has been in this position at her job for a very long time. So I'm glad I could use her as a resource, a voice of guidance and reason, just to kind of see how others would handle the situation. Dabi's in a position in her line of work that has become more supervisor/manager type roles. So we have these collective conversations, and it's very helpful, and I'm glad that we have that. So that's that. That's where I'm at with work, because man, the last few weeks I've been I feel like I'm not 100%. So that's my mini rant / topic for today. Segue to fun tech. So tech has been a big part of my life. Obviously, I come from a technical background. I played with computers, gadgets, electronics, cell phones, cameras, all that stuff. And this recent lifestyle, I guess we could call it, or whatever you want to call it, where we're podcasting, vlogging, we're not actually putting this out on social media for the world to see and share. It's more like, just a collective of like, I enjoy filming vlogs, I enjoy podcasting, I like sharing it with my friends. It's not, I'm not doing it for views, I'm not doing it for subscriptions and stuff like that. I kind of just like the process, like me and Derek have said, talking and vlogging, even though people may not view it, it's therapeutic. It does, kind of help you through your day, I guess. If you're having a bad day and you push out a podcast or a vlog, maybe you feel a little bit better, like you had a homie to talk to and vent to, all your frustrations that you had that day, and that's kind of cool. But I heavily got into like the camera stuff again, gear. I bought a new Sony a6300, same camera that my friend Edwin has, and then I went ham, I went crazy. I bought a cage, I bought a microphone, bought extra lenses, tripods, and then I got into like smartphone filmmaking, which was very, very intriguing to me, because they always say the best camera you can have is the one that's on you. And right now, I don't have my DSLR on me. I have my cell phone. And the fact that I always have it on me, it's so accessible. I was able to, do vlogs and stuff like that with just cell phones. So it made me wonder, was the purchase of those expensive ass cameras and gear useless? Like the wedding montage that I made for Tabi and Han, that was filmed and on the Pixel 2 and the 7 Plus. I didn't even bring my my nicer camera. Sure, the quality might have been better, but then it would just been more of a hassle bringing all that extra gear. And I think that's the whole reason why I stopped with all the camera stuff in the DSLR back in the day when I had the Canon 70Ds, because it was just so much to lug around. So then I started looking up vlogs and stuff like with moment lenses and gimbals and filters and mobile editing softwares, and they're all really good. Like moment lenses are pretty cool. They're very high quality. Sure, they're pricey, but if you're taking the whole vlogging thing seriously and you don't want to invest in expensive ass cameras, then those are great options. The picture quality and the video quality is there. These cell phones are some of the best cameras people will ever use, and they've gotten so good. Why not get a camera and then just have that be your gear, your camera gear? So that's kind of where I'm at right now, because I do like using my 7 Plus more than my A6300, just because it's right here. It's so accessible. It fits in my pocket, and the video quality is is good. I think there was one video that I watched from Casey Neistat. It was something like teaching Casey how to vlog, which was kind of crazy because Casey Neistat's like the ultimate vlogger, right? But he said something that it kind of threw me off. He said, "Don't let perfect get in the way of good enough." And I thought, like, that's probably going to piss off a lot of people, because people strive for perfection. If you want to be the best, then you got to put in the work. You got to work hard to be the best. But then he put it in a way where you could spend 15, 20 takes trying to get one shot, the perfect shot. But if you take the first shot and it was 80% good, you could spend those 19, the time that you would take the other 19 shots getting shots of something else to add to the story, to add to the back, to add to the vlog. And I thought that was very interesting, the way he put it, and I kind of believed him. I do believe him. Like, you can't let perfection get in the way.